we're part of the fashion team at CW. My name is Bridget. I'm the design manager for fashion.
My name is Satyana. I'm the raw materials product developer.
My name is Matthew. I'm designer in the fashion team.
Shift Fashion made a video reviewing some of our product, and we're gonna watch it and give our reactions. Ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back. What do you guys got for me this week? Okay. Who's this from?
Mine is Tech Tips or LTTStore.com.
Oh, fellow Canadian. Okay. Oh, this is like good amount of stickers. Let's start with the t-shirts. One thing I see right off the bat is this bottom hem. It is really wonky. It's almost already starting to pill on the inside. You see that? They did have the neck tape go edge to edge, which was nice. I do see like a lot of puckering on the seam. Let's take a look at the inside. You'll see they ran the machine and then they did another seam here. This was done to try and fix a garment that was probably really poorly sewn.
So obviously it looks like the t-shirt that they got is below the quality standard that we're trying to maintain. We do third-party inspections for every single production run that we do. If they find anything wrong, we typically like the manufacturer to be able to fix that. So we're creating as little waste as possible. And as long as it's like imperceptible to the wearer in the end, we would prefer to fix something rather than just discard it. It's just part of bulk production, but I accept that feedback and we want to be better. As far as the fabric goes, I think some context missing there is that we made Linus's perfect t-shirts. He really likes the American Apparel blank, which he's gonna look at now, but that is a poly cotton blend. Advantages of that are like super soft hand feel, really nice soft drape on the body.
So you're always gonna have a toss up between that softness and the durability and pilling. So it's just something that we've kind of met in the middle in order to achieve Linus's perfect tee. But of course, there's so many t-shirts out there.
This is just an American Apparel shirt. Obviously the workmanship's not great. Lots of loose thread already. This same thing, very wonky bottom hem. Both equally not great. Next. Twill pants. They have the little paper to cover the buttons. Do you think it's a branded button? Let's find out. Where's the sticker with the LTT logo? Like, come on. Right? Perfect opportunity.
We're actually looking at doing an overhaul of a lot of our trims in order to add an LTT branding holistically across all of our product lines. So it's something that as we are building our brand, we are looking at all of our trims having branding.
Also important to note that Linus prefers minimal branding as often as possible. So he doesn't always want everything to have the logo on it. And so it's a balance there.
Very true.
Yeah, I wish we had samples prepared so that we can just show them, so that we'd be like, oh, we're already working on it. Not...
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
And here, not the deepest pockets, but there are pockets. They have the product development process. They saw the price, they're probably like, holy shit. And then they're like, we want to push this project through, let's pull away certain trims and elements.
Not exactly.
When I see a magnet on one side, this is always going to curl. You need to have magnets on both sides, but again, so many pockets here, so many.
So the reason why there's only one magnet on the one side was that based off of wear test and feedback, a lot of people put tall tools and stuff like screwdrivers in like the big pouch. The flap kind of gets in the way, and then even the shape of that flap is angled so that even the stuff towards the back can stick out a bit more, and that flap wouldn't really be in the way. It's our attempt at solving that.
It's always a balancing act of how much do you want it to stay closed, and then how much do you want it to be accessible with any other tools?
It's not bad. It's not generic merch. They definitely have a technical developer, technical designer on their team to put this together.
Well, I'd say it's you mixed with Alamede, who's our fit tech as well. Mm-hmm. I know you definitely have a more of a technical lens when it comes to a lot of the garments, so there's a lot of intention behind what we make, and I think the task jacket and the cargo pant really highlight that.
Thanks.
Liner, basically secondary jacket on the inside. Overall, the A surfaces are pretty good. Woven labels consistent between the pant and this, so that's telling me it's probably made at the same factory, which they could, because...
Damn, how do you know?
You're trying to conform a flat material around a round object. When you do it with a 2-panel, you're having to now take something that is flat and like an envelope that you're opening up and you're trying to wrap it around a round object. It's just not gonna do it that well. You're gonna have to make the hood larger than it needs to be. But 3-panel hood, especially for lined objects, are just gonna conform to the head a lot better.
I thought that was a pretty good example, showing 2-piece hoods versus 3-piece hood.
Yeah.
It's something that across a lot of our jackets and hoodies, it's always something that we're very intentional about.
It's wild to watch it be torn apart.
This is still bothering me. It's on both sides, so I think this is a design feature, be able to access that pocket, but then, you know.
It's a feature.
A leather woven label here.
Good leather?
Faux leather.
Light it on fire.
Let's take apart this patch pocket.
It's actually a really good way of testing to see if it's of animal product or plastic, because any plastic will straight up melt and anything that's animal will char. You can do this with buttons as well. Any faux leather, real leather, you can always just snip off a piece in order to actually test it.
The flap curve must be intentional. If somebody from the LTT team can let us know why this is curved here, I would love to know.
That is just like when you put tools in, it's just that curve makes it so the flap doesn't get in the way.
Yeah.
It ripped across, and that is because this is a woven material. If they did want to improve this and make this pant extremely durable, they could have switched to a ripstop nylon.
It's really funny because whenever I look at a lot of items and whenever the team kind of develops things, there's looking at the type of pant, what Linus likes, what the design team likes. But hopefully in the future I can have a lot more ripstop opportunities and maybe some Kevlar or maybe some Cordura. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more.
Okay. Still have more pockets. The factory that's doing these pants knows what they're doing. So kudos to the sourcing team at LTT for that. There's the loop here. I don't even fucking know where I am anymore. What I suspect is happening is LTT's probably done quite a bit of work with this factory, and the factory is doing a pair of pants like this because of the relationship. I can guarantee you no factory wants to do a pant.
The factory hates us now.
It is a factory we've worked with for a long time, and they do a great job.
And then we're going to throw it into our lab for durability testing.
You need these equipment.
Yeah.
I know, I was gonna say,
Jealous.
it's pretty cool because my background's in a lot of testing. Typically here at LTT, we do third-party testing. Do everything from abrasion, dimensional stability to wash. We look at seam strength. We look at tear resistance. We look at tensile strength. And then usually in regards to any specific properties, we'll do additional tests as water resistance, water repellency. We do a wide breadth. But it's always something that I've always wanted in order to bring in more testing, because having it firsthand and the ability to tweak your test in order to fit the customer's needs can sometimes give you a new perspective or look into fabrics to make sure that it fits the intended use.
It is about 50 centimeters, so let's call it 100 total round. With a 2.5% shrinkage, that means it'll roughly shrink around 3 centimeters total round of the body. It's about the same, about 2.5% shrinkage. Next, we'll take a look at the jacket and the pants. About 2.5% shrinkage as well on that, and none on the width. So for the cargo pant, about 1% shrinkage and no shrinkage in the other direction. Overall, I would say that the shrinkage, even on the t-shirts, is very much acceptable.
Our requirement for both knits and wovens is around plus or minus 3%. Anything above that is rejected. Usually it's additional wash testing, especially pre-shrinking the cotton or looking at reweaving in order to make sure that you get less stretch overall in regards to the full bulk roll. So yeah, happy that it was within our requirement of plus or minus 3%.
We put this through what's called a Martindale pilling tester, and we basically rub it against a known abrasive. And because these both have polyester content in them, they are definitely pilling. If anything, I would say the American Apparel is pilling a little bit more, but both would fail pilling test.
So what I will say is that whenever you mix in polyester and cotton, there's only so much you can do. We typically want to make sure that we see about a 3.0 when we look at any Martindale or ICI pillbox pilling testing. So it is able to pass, but of course, that durability and softness goes hand in hand, and it's almost a double-edged sword. So works for us, but of course, if you're comparing it to 100% cotton, going to perform slightly less.
Yeah, personal preference again too. It's, do you want the structured feel of a heavyweight 100% cotton or a soft drapey feel of a poly cotton blend? It's very difficult, if not impossible, to get the same hand feel in 100% cotton. But that being said, we have made 100% cotton t-shirts before, and I hope we will again. So
Yeah.
there's something for everybody.
Next up, we did plywood. So the idea here is
plywood.
that if you're going to be working on a construction site, you might be kneeling on plywood. Both of these perform pretty decently, at least 4,000 cycles. And then we actually tested it on concrete because
Yeah.
often, if you're going to be working in a shop, your floor is probably concrete. The jacket performed quite well. I would say the pant material, you can see some wear starting to happen, but these were double kneed, so you should be okay over the long term.
It's really cool that he was using both plywood and concrete. I've never actually seen that. It's something that if we ever have an opportunity to, I would 100% want to use known abradance in a workshop because of course that makes sense in order to test for it.
Also important to point out that our cargo pants are not for like a work site. They're more for like working at home. It's awesome to see them tested this way because obviously we want things to perform as well as possible, but I think there's also room for us to have a cargo pant that is a little more cargo pant pro, which might be in the works.
Coming soon, LTTStore.com.
We did a review a while ago. I think it was the Pima cotton crew neck from Uniqlo. That is substantially better at the exact same price. I'm going to have to give value a 3 out of 10 here. That brings the total to 13 out of 40, which is rough.
Again, I'd love to do a heavyweight cotton t-shirt at some point to appeal to people who have that as their personal preference. I think the description on the website is implying that we found Linus's perfect t-shirt.
Uniqlo is also a huge company. Unfortunately, we can't really compete with price for that, but you're supporting us so we can keep doing what we do.
For workmanship, the team took apart this entire garment seam by seam and they did not find anything wrong. I'm going to give workmanship a 10 out of 10.
I always love seeing the teardowns that Joe does, especially when you go into like his different products. So it's always cool seeing all of the pockets and everything laid out.
I can guarantee you there was a lot of debate internally justifying the cost of this product. So I'm gonna have to give design here a 9 out of 10. I think overall, the LTT store has some strong offerings and they have some weaker offerings.
So the blank tee ranked 28. And then I know that,
the-
task jacket ranked at 12. And then,
Hey, top
cargo
five.
pants ranked
Let's
at,
go. Wait,
yeah.
they're missing number 5.
I think there's a tie. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
4
tie.
and 5 are a tie.
Oh, I see.
That's great.
A win to win.
Canada Goose, Lululemon, Uniqlo.
Yeah,
Not
better
bad.
than the Stone Island ripstop pant at $500. So we're doing something right.
That's great. It's awesome just to be looked at like in the context of these other companies. So I'm proud.
Yeah,
of
and these
us.
other larger companies, considering that we're coming at it at a very different angle in the market, and a lot of these have massive teams, whole departments of teams that are looking at each different product category. So it's cool that our little team is ranked quite high, considering at least for the cargo pants. And then of course we have t-shirts and stuff. We can always look at improving our product offerings in order to make sure that it fits our customers' needs.
This is my first time watching a video from Shift Fashion Group, and I really like how educational it was.
Yeah.
If I didn't have background in fashion and watching this, a lot of the information was actually quite useful. And I think for a lot of buyers, it's a lot of stuff to keep in mind when you are shopping for clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny on the opposite side of the spectrum that, huge fan. So I loved watching this. I sent it to the team right away and I was like, oh my God, did you see that Joe reviewed our stuff?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Shift Fashion Group and Flowplane, LTTStore.com. Subscribe. Buy our cargo pants. Buy our task jacket, buy our blank t-shirts. I'm about to go down the list. We're going to shout out every single product.